A dream wrapped to spin fire. The NFT in us are diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your meme coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web freezers and trees show.
Yeah, that's right, boys. Back again, a double header for you today. How about that? How do you guys like that? I think it's pretty damn cool. Cats and Biggie, good to see you. Live in all the usual places. I'm going to ask for somebody's help out here, though. Maybe you cats. Double check for me if you could that we're live on X. I think we're live. I set it up a little different. I've been experimenting a bit, but if you don't mind, peek over on X and make sure we're live there. And if not, I'll just take a quick second to get that rocking. But hey, yeah, that's true. Biggie Swarm's going crazy. It's. I mean, we keep saying it's virtual season 2 here, and it is. And while we've been talking to some of the OG projects, I'm not losing track of the Genesis launches here. There's too much special stuff launching, and what we have right here, right now, is one of those special ones. Joined today by Maryna from, is it Artsted? Am I saying that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Dude, amazing. So the guys that are watching right now, thank you, cats, live on X. Okay, cool. Give that a little love too, by the way, if you could. Just give it a like and a push. Obviously, wherever you're watching, like the show, share. Definitely come over to the YouTube side and subscribe here. Again, ramping up the builders coming on the show. I want to make sure you guys know who they are and what they're building and why it matters. So the YouTube side especially is super, super important. Okay, the guys that are watching now, look, we were reviewing the Genesis launches. Well, we do it every day. But I think yesterday or the day before, Cats, I think it was yesterday, right? I'm scrolling through and we're picking out some of what I think are the top launches coming. We're trying to make some good decisions with our points. And I come across Artsted and read into the description. And instantly when I start seeing talk about art, like light bulbs are going off. And especially as I get deeper into the project details and then start clicking on the people involved in it, like the light bulbs getting brighter and brighter and brighter. I've had a feeling for a while that we're going to start seeing art and NFT type projects in the virtuals ecosystem. To me, it was a matter of time. I'm like really excited that time is right now. And I'll say this, especially because I know FX Hash has just launched their token and they're getting ready to like make a big push on base again. It's like perfect storm brewing for art on the blockchain and in AI over here. So like this one's perfect. I can't wait to get into it. With that said, if you could introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you've been building for the past few years and how that's led you to here, which is now launching a project on virtuals.
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks so much for having me. Super excited to be here. And thanks for, I'm happy that your light bulbs went off at the right time. So yeah, my name is Maryna. I've been at this project for over 4 years now. We've built Artsted as an artist-first platform and started off as a regular marketplace, think Etsy or eBay, but with a few twists to it. And we've experimented a lot over the years on how to really help. First, we started off with real life stuff, so physical art, paintings, photography, sculptures, whatever. And then gradually, of course, we've shifted to doing both physical and digital, and played around with NFTs when the things were really booming. And now I feel it's the rebirth of the whole thing, just on a different scale, and with the help of AI that really powers the scale of it. And yeah, agents was really a no-brainer for us, thinking of a new iteration of where to take our user base and what are the next features we're going to say, hey, you should really do this in order to advance your creative career. So yeah, happy to be here. Happy to kind of dive into it.
Yeah, let's start picking into that because there's some cool stuff. Also interesting if you started in the physicals and then kind of, got into the digital NFT stuff after. And then I see projects like native, Web3 NFT projects like Art Blocks who are now going the opposite direction. Everybody's kind of meeting in the middle, though. Art Blocks is starting to do these NFTs that have the physical counterparts. And then you started physical into NFTs, and I'm sure the physical stuff remains, which is awesome. There needs to be more physical stuff that has like an on-chain presence too. I love that stuff. But into your comment about like the AI side and the agent side, what is it that AI, and I don't know if there is an agent here specifically, or if it's just like an AI powered platform, but what is it that AI is now going to add to the art experience on your platform? And then if we could get a little deeper into what the Artsted platform is.
Yeah, totally. There's so much to cover. So, yeah, agent is there, and that's what we're building as our next iteration. Even though you might find online that for a while our focus has been providing AI-based valuations as part of the core offering. We were helping predict prices or helping analyze prices of art based on the data that we had from our users. And agent is the newest iteration of this, because from the dawn of NFTs, I feel like the promise with NFTs has always been, let's remove the gatekeepers, let's give agency and power back to the creators. But instead, and I feel I've been kind of in the trenches with the early NFT days. We've launched some big collaborations with big auction houses here in Italy, and really powered some of the big names and launched some big names in Italian NFT scene. However, I feel like that promise never really got fulfilled, because instead of removing gatekeepers from the traditional art world, we sort of created new gatekeepers in the crypto space, right? It was the promise that, of transparency and democracy was still based on, Twitter algorithms or the cloud.
Having to get through the KOLs, you have to have a KOL, somebody that can like make sure people see your work. That's the gatekeeper, things like that, or getting on the right platform, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. So you still had to go through some kind of gatekeeping, signing up on any of the major NFT platforms, and you had to know someone to get the access. So yeah, I feel like NFTs, they created this small circle of people who were early enough to sort of profit from that, and it never really expanded to like the long tail of the art world, of to thousands and thousands of artists that were too intimidated by this kind of you can't sit with us approach, or like at some point getting into the platforms like super rare art blocks, you had to know someone.
Yes.
So I feel like this promise of true removal of gatekeepers, no middleman, no like gallerist or no dealer, that NFT originally had. This is where AI really can sort of step in, and the AI agent can do what what NFTs promised.
Does the AI kind of act like, if there's an agent, does it also act like the KOL? Is it something that's going to have like an account where it's going to tweet and promote artwork? Is that a piece of this puzzle?
Yes,
Really
in
cool.
our vision, yes, it's a 360-degree ecosystem where it helps promote the work on socials. It helps memorize the style. It helps really create all kinds of even day-to-day bureaucratic tasks that artists, have to do if they're doing it full time. There's so much that goes into being an artist, and a lot of it is invisible work, and I feel like that's where an agent would be really essential.
Sure, like it probably helps the artist focus on the thing they'd rather focus on, the art,
Yeah.
not have to worry about all the other stuff and the things you mentioned, the pricing and then the promotion and all of that. It's not everybody's wheelhouse. It's not
Yeah.
everybody's specialty, and this takes some of that burden off, which is awesome. Really cool. Okay, so it helps with pricing. It's going to help with kind of promotion. Is there an element to this where the agent itself is creating art on chain too? I feel like I read about that somewhere in here, but that sounds really, that starts reminding me back of like the Botto project. Do you remember that one from a few years back? It's a DAO, and together people are training this LLM, I believe, to create outputs, and that's magic to me. That was where I started seeing how like special the future can get. People working together, have AI, influence its outputs, and so cool. Yeah, what in this project maybe like kind of relates to that is similar, if that's the right word.
Yeah, for sure. It's part of the vision to really train the agent to be able to make suggestions or make iterations of work, and that's especially relevant thinking of legacy. So once the artist is no longer around, the agent can kind of keep creating on their behalf, and that's what we really call the infinite canvas. So. Um, that also kind of ties into the royalties and how agents can create work that is more commercial and maybe can be used in different contexts rather than originals. So yeah, the agent ultimately would learn the style and the voice of the artist.
Interesting. Is it a unique agent that's spun up per artist or per release, or is it one agent that's just learning everybody's styles and then outputting based on that?
Yeah, those are unique agents. Those are
Wow.
personal agents.
Okay, so this is going to be a whole ecosystem, is each agent then on chain with their own token? Or are they all powered by the same token, the arts token here?
So chain wise and technology wise, I feel like it's my co-founder that knows how to answer it best. But we, at least in this first kind of Genesis launch vision, we're really going with artist first, and everything that's on chain that kind of follows second. So we'll definitely be defining that, and consulting the community on what is best and what is the best fit for this kind of solution.
Yeah, really, really, really interesting. Yeah, community feedback. If you're looking for it, I think we've got some great art collectors right here too. I think you'll get some good advice, and then on top of it, anybody else who's holding your token. What an interesting ecosystem. So this launches in about 20 hours. So we're looking at like is this tomorrow morning or my time here.
For sure.
It's not far off. Really cool. What drew you to the virtuals platform? And well, no, I'll ask that first. I'll ask my follow up after.
We were looking for launch pads that worked with AI agents because this is the core vision, and I feel like virtuals is the prominent one and the only one that really had some success stories. So it was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, well, fair enough. That makes sense. They're the ones doing it. They're the big ones in town here, and they're excellent. Okay, this then might be a question for whoever you'd mentioned who maybe understands the tokenomics, but I am curious still with the token. Okay, so token's live tomorrow. People are going to speculate away on this token, which is part of the fun. I don't know if I would have gotten into art if it weren't gamified. I always like art was challenging for me. I always wanted to like it. I never understood it, but all of a sudden the gamifying, the collecting of it, and the speculative value meant I want to check it out and I want to see if I can understand it, maybe profit from it. But it along the way unlocked art for me. It helped me understand it. It helped me like grow. Well, yeah, my understanding of it to the point where I fell in love with it, and now I've got my what's the word? The style, like my style, the things I love, and it's getting honed in, and now I started developing my eye for this too. And tokens, they really do that, don't they? They really can, bring a different kind of group in here. How do the artists that you've worked with so far feel about the tokenization of stuff and introducing like crypto into their world? I'm sure like some of them don't love it, but I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, it's such a sensitive topic for a lot of artists. Like artists don't like to talk about money or manage money at all. So I feel like also delegating that to the agent in terms of sales or managing that kind of takes a lot off of their plate. But on a different note, tokens, especially early launches, are super speculative, and there's some fun in it for sure. Obviously, we're not building with a speculation mind or with anything else except for building a legitimate product and extending our existing product. So, everyone's welcome to make what they want out of it. We are building for the long term, and hopefully, we're not going to see too much speculation. And really looking to get some people on board on our amongst our token holders that are passionate about art or passionate about all things creative. So, we're in this together.
Yep. Token utility, by the way, I saw like a 93-day lockup period, which I know people will love. And if you're familiar with that to a degree, I'm sure. But yeah, people will be able to grab that and stake it away and farm some points, which is awesome. I'll be doing that too. But what is the token utility in the ecosystem?
Right. That's a very good question, because actually there's no inherent utility just as of right now, because this is still such an early stage for us, and we're just working out all of the specifics. So the Genesis launch is just to see the community interest and to see, like, does anyone even want an AI agent for art? And then surely enough, there's going to be rewards that are tied to the token, and some participatory functions.
I hope you're pleasantly surprised, like after launch to see if people do want like a token for art, because like as far as I've known for years, people do. They love it. They love it. And it, maybe sometimes it depends on what you can do with it. But like, I'm that guy that always says, like, I don't think these tokens need utility. I think tokens are interesting because they're like the first time we can like quantify and monetize attention. That's simple. It's that simple. There's never been a way to do that before, really. Now all of a sudden we've got this new vehicle to do it. So I tell people, launch a token. Even if you have no purpose for it yet, launch a token. You can figure out what you want to do with it later at some point. And so I've always been I've been fine with that. Always have been.
That's, coming from more of a traditional background, tech background, and raising VC funds earlier on, they don't ask you what are you using the funds for. They just know that you're going to build with it. So same here. And it's not like at the end of the day, token is just a way of crowdfunding in a way.
Yep. That's fair. That's fair. The artworks that are created by this agent or these multiple agents, are they stored on chain? Do you know, or will they be IPFS? To what degree? Like, how deep on chain is this going?
Oh, that's something you have to ask my co-founder. That's for sure.
Fair.
I know that we've had a few discussions where IPFS wasn't deep enough of a solution, and especially with the NFTs that didn't really last that long on IPFS. So there's definitely some new updates to that.
Yeah.
We're making sure things are a bit more secure and a bit more long lasting.
Yeah. We've seen some examples, not many yet, but of like, NFTs where you wake up one morning and there's no image. It happens. And like everybody should have been prepping for that. We knew it was a matter of time till that happens. And we'll have another time in the future where it's a lot of them disappear a lot. So I think there's solutions around that. And maybe people are still figuring that out. But an interesting conversation, I'm sure will just keep happening over the next few years here. Looking at the roadmap here, what are the major milestones that are coming up? So we have launch tomorrow. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm going to be committing a good amount of points to this. I just want to support anything in the world of art here, especially, but because I think we're going to see a big art presence on chain. This is the first example I've seen, again, other than Botto, and like, AI artists like a Claire Silver or Rafik Anadol and those pioneers. Like, I've not seen a whole heck of a lot of like people really pushing AI art. So this is super interesting to me. But yeah, then into roadmap, what are we looking at post launch for next milestones?
Yeah, we're definitely looking to go live with the first version of the agent. So to have our first community feedback from what's working and what needs improvement. Then we definitely want to scale more, and this time truly blend the physical art and digital art worlds in a sense that we really want to onboard non-crypto native artists and expand in that way, because there's a really, really long tail of people who, for a number of reasons, never really got into the NFT space or on-chain art. And with AI agent, we really want to make it grandma proof and as simple as just, they have to launch something and have them do the work for them. So that's going to be the roadmap in terms of go to market.
That's
And
super interesting. I got to point out, because I have a good friend who is a phenomenal artist, like physical art. She blows my mind with everything she creates. And I can't seem to convince her to go on chain, even if it's just making like a certificate of authenticity on chain, something like that. It's just like the NFT thing is a hurdle. And I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it, especially when like on the NFT side, you see like the public facing part of it is mostly scams. It is. It just,
yes,
it
yeah.
is what it is. And I guess I hadn't thought about it till right now. Is AI an extra hurdle? It's like, not only do I have to understand or be cool with NFTs, now I got to be cool with AI, and that's a challenge too. But then when you start explaining how AI could or should make this easier for you, and it can be a collaborative partner with you in your creation process, that's different. That might wake some people up or get them a little more interested to start experimenting. And that could be what bridges them over to, like tokenizing their art. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I feel like AI adoption curve has been a really faster one and a more native one to a lot of people of all ages, all backgrounds, and it's definitely a reality. And with NFTs, it's been a bit different. You had to kind of be aware of the crypto space, or maybe be more of a risk taker. So with AI, we really want to remove those barriers and be like, hey, this is, you just press a button and you let your agent manage everything. And yeah.
So as these agents go live, okay, this is maybe a weird question. Do I need to be an artist on your platform to launch an agent, or could I, as a token holder, launch an agent and start becoming an artist for the first time, start experimenting and seeing if I can like collaborate with an agent here to create?
So far, we're focusing on people who are artists, just for a simple reason that, I mean, I support creativity, and I'm a non-artist, but I think that in order to really focus on the value of art, we have to first give space to quote unquote professional creators, or people who are doing it full time or part time, or have had some I don't know, art education or anything of that kind. So we first are going to launch with them. And if there's ever demand from the public and the community to let everyone else join and play around with AI agents, why not?
Yeah, I think just knowing this community, I think people would have a lot of fun with that. Just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You see how people went crazy. Look, when like ChatGPT got that, what is it, that Ghibli update, and everybody's
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and people ate that up. And even like back with oh geez, what's the one that was popular a few years back just for creating images? Everyone knows the name of this.
Mid-journey.
Midjourney. Everybody's dabbling in Midjourney at that point. Everyone's like, oh my god, I could be an artist. And no, most of them no. But you see that instant want to be able to do it, and people will go spend the time and do it. I could see that playing out right here. I could launch an agent, have this collaborative partner, and make some art. It's kind of spicy. That's cool. Yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes on that too. Scrollable metaverse. What exactly is this? Is this like an environment to view some of the creations that are created through this AI ecosystem?
Yeah, for sure. So we also did think of a space to view the works online, and to have sort of a host space for them to live. It's an iteration of the metaverse that we've seen. We've seen a few of those. It's experimental, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But it's on a roadmap, and we want to play around and see what works out best in terms of where these artworks live. Do they only live on Twitter feeds, or should they have a native kind of space as a metaverse?
Yep. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see that play out actually too. Do you have artists lined up, platform users already, or anybody new who is, once this is live, they're going to be working with these agents and planning to launch maybe their next collection through this?
So far, we're just soft launching for our users, our existing user base. They're a bit over 2,000. And it's a mix of both crypto native and non-crypto native artists. And yeah, we'll see what their feedback is and what they say based on their experience. So
Interesting. Any names of those artists yet that we can just start, on our own researching their collections, their portfolios? I would just a guess. I would assume it's some of the ones that have already done NFT art are probably like some of the first to come over to this side.
yeah, for sure. That's a great question. I think you'll find most of them, yeah, right where you're looking at them.
Okay.
Those are some of the artists we have that are actively minting and making NFTs. And yeah, then we're gonna gradually open up to everyone else. But yeah, step by step.
It's super, super cool. How about ACP? Are you familiar with the virtuals ACP?
No idea.
Okay, I'll fill you in, and I'm just going to
Okay.
give you dream scenario. It's not even, it's playing fantasy right here.
Yeah.
ACP it's an environment where AI agents autonomously work together. So we have an agent, and it's like a, crypto data agent, and it's going to feed all these other agents, data points and insights and alpha, and about 10 to 15 agents are going to work together to trade and hopefully make some money. And as soon as this ACP thing was announced, I go, because our art is my favorite thing here on chain. I go right to art and I'm start thinking about, man, a swarm or an ACP of art type of agents that are working together to autonomously create outputs, create their own collection would be magic. To me, that's magic. So if you're not aware of ACP, I hope now maybe it's you check into it, because I think that's fascinating. Let's see what AI just with no human input wants to make on its own. I think would be so exciting, and I think would get a lot of people paying attention.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for filling me in. I do have to do my research now. I have to say I'm fairly new to the AI agents. And I come to this space as someone who is building for users first, artists first. So I'm learning on the job. So
Best place
but
to be learning.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. By the way, you're on the Forbes 30 under 30.
Yeah.
Get
This
out.
year,
That's awesome.
This year it's for arts and culture. So this is my daily bread, and this is where I know most things, physical art and how to organize art shows. That's what I do. And definitely, I think I've always been convinced that this space needs to be disintermediated. It needs to not have as many gallerists or art dealers. I wouldn't say they're parasites, but I would say that, yeah, in a perfect world, artists don't really need them. And if they could be replaced by something that's totally unbiased and efficient and scalable, well, we should definitely do that.
Is this kind of that conversation of being able to amplify their message, their art, and just make it accessible to people? Is that what we're speaking on?
Anything, even in terms of management or
Okay.
in terms of sales. As I said, artists, besides the creative work that they do, they also have to answer emails, create PDFs and presentations, and apply to grants. And there's a lot of just quite unnoticed work there. And if they're lucky to have a manager or a gallerist or an agent, a physical person, then but that's a rarity, and they only get there once, maybe if they make it to to some degree of success. Most artists do not have the luxury of having any of those, and I think this is where AI can step in.
Yep. I see it again as a marketer, the promoter, as even I'm starting to see agents out there that are like advisors,
Mm-hmm.
like business advisors. So, lately I've been seeing some that are like tailored to, crypto, like, hey, if you're building a crypto project, this is an agent that is trained on best practices and maybe on, contract code and security all that, all these things to help you develop your business. So certainly maybe there's something there for, something that can almost be a coach, like a business coach for artists too. By the way, Moonship, I'm curious about this question here. Where's the market for AI art? Are you asking like where is the like primary marketplace for AI art, or is it like who is buying AI art right now? Just curious about that, and we can come back to that if you reply. Um, what's the like royalty structure here on art that might be generated by these AI agents?
We haven't really put that down on paper, but yeah, I feel like royalties have always been at the core, and I was really upset when OpenSea removed theirs, and I feel like it's a no-brainer if we go in that direction, to have the royalties at a pretty standard distribution, that will definitely have it on the roadmap.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. The OpenSea was a bummer. And it's like, I get it. If you can't enforce it on chain, then how do you stop it? But it's interesting seeing OpenSea swing back to royalties, which they
Yeah.
are doing now, which is cool. And it's why I respect somebody like FX Hash so much, who it's always been royalties and they're not going
Yep.
to change. And amazing. I love that. Who's buying it? Man, I'd argue a lot of people who are kind of seeing down the road. Again, I just point to, Rafiq Anadol and what his work sells for and who's paying attention to it. And Clear Silver, I think those are the two biggest in the game. Although I'm not like by no means an expert on AI art, but those two in particular, who might I be missing as far as like top tier, the AI artists that
No, I feel like the number one would definitely be Refik. And at the end of the day, it's not really, prompting the Mid Journey or any LLM to create some kind of image. It's really what he does by building a whole ecosystem and by having a concept that's really complex and requires some real um, months of work by multiple people, especially concerning the research he does into the brain waves. And I feel like AI art should not be reduced to just prompting an image and presenting it as art. We're ultimately, AI is just a paintbrush
yes.
or a canvas, but you're not seeing people go and exhibit like empty canvases or blank canvases in galleries. They have to have something on them, some substance. And even if you see a blank canvas, maybe it's going to be by a big name artist who is has the moral authority and clout and the following to claim something so bold. So it's not AI as an yeah, can't find the words, but it's definitely more of a tool.
I know. I understand that completely. And that I didn't understand that right away. I didn't when I first started seeing AI art, and it was really during the Mid Journey explosion. It was
Yeah,
then, and I didn't understand it, and I felt like it cheapened art, and I just didn't understand AI's place in creating great art. And then the more time you spend with something, like anything, the more you start understanding it. And you do see it as a tool instead, and you start seeing where talented people start separating. They use that AI
yeah,
as a tool. You start seeing the creative prompting and the creative minds that can manipulate like those prompts and turn it into something that your average person could not, just
yeah.
could not. And a tool, that's the best way to put it. It's a different kind of paintbrush. And I don't know, the AI stuff I think has opened up a whole new world of just like wildly creative things. So
Yeah, I
I
feel
love it.
like another parallel here could be photography. When photography came around, you could use it to document something. You could use it to make a portrait photo for your passport. You could use it for anything. Or there's artists who use it for creating unique, original works of art that are deemed such. So yeah, anyone with an iPhone can take a photo, but not every photo is going to be a marketable artwork. And yeah, I think that's that's where it really is.
It's a great way to put it, like a really great way to put it. Okay, I'm skimming, seeing if I have any other questions, and I think just after this is born, I think there'll be tons more questions. So I'll probably keep a going list of those and see if you're willing to come back and answer more. But already, I love what I hear, and I just love pioneering in this direction. It's the obvious place I would expect to see people who are like experimenting and living in art, like trying to push to. So really cool to see you doing this here. Any other final maybe components of Artsted or the Arts token or the agent itself that you want to make sure people know ahead of this drop tomorrow or launch?
Yeah, that's a good question. Didn't really put much thought into it. We're so busy because it's like basically next day. We're working super hard to roll out the MVP very soon, and excited to share updates on that. So if you want to check out any white papers, it's all in there. It's all connected. But yeah, I'm super excited about this launch, and super excited to also answer any questions if anyone might have. Just drop a comment.
Yeah, anything else in the chat, just drop them there. Otherwise, like this is a show, like I do this every day. So I'm sure as questions come, if you don't mind, I'll ping you and see if I can fire questions. Or again, if we have a bunch, maybe you pop back in the show, which would be awesome. I would definitely like to check in and just see how it's going. And again, I will be getting into this drop tomorrow. Just I have to. I'm excited for it. So I'll be keeping along just as a part of the community at that point too. So very, very excited for it. Let me put the socials up on the screen for you guys. Again, I think this is the biggest. Okay, this isn't just the biggest art launch. Well, hang on. Let me say it the other way. I think this is not just the biggest NFT launch on virtuals, right? We've had a couple other like NFT type launches over there. This one is now the biggest NFT launch, I believe, but it's the biggest art launch over on virtual. So really freaking cool, kind of groundbreaking. And I think we'll see others that come over here, and great, the more the merrier. Let's get the arts flowing on virtual. So really cool. Guys, it's Artsted 1 over on X. Let me get this. How do you say your name again? I'm so sorry.
Maryna.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Maryna's account. Dropping that in the chat for you guys as well. And I'm going to drop the white paper for you as well. You guys know where to find it on virtuals. And again, this is live tomorrow morning, probably right around the time we're live anyways. So if this is live while we're live, we'll go do our points committing. The next day, we'll probably go do our token claims live. And usually when it's live too, the fun part starts to just trading some tokens too. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this drop here over the next 24, 48 hours. So I can't wait for it. Thank you so much for joining. This is nice and fresh. It's different than what we're used to over on virtual.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime. And definitely come back, give us an update here. But I just want to say thank you again.
Thanks. Anytime.
All right, guys. I'll say this: stay tuned. Maybe another interview today. There's a lot going on in the virtuals ecosystem. If there's people who are wanting to come on, I want them on, and I think we got another lined up. So stay tuned for that. If I don't see you, just know I'll be live this weekend like usual. Find me on my personal channels, but we'll definitely be back Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern time on the Swarm Report. We'll cover all the launches, how they performed, what's next. A lot of stuff cooking, so be ready for that. Sir Billy, good to see you, man. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again for joining. We'll see you guys.
Sure. Thank you.
Peace.
Cheers.